Hey traders, how's it going? Rick here with Hit and Run Candlesticks. Let's see, it's Monday. What is it? Monday, January 25th, 2021. Market's closed. It's about, it's about 6 p.m. East Coast time. And I just went through and found a few charts that I'm interested in, and I'll be adding them to the Road to Wealth watch list. Before we go take a look at those, I want to point out the SPY here, nasty day today. Nasty day, and then came back. Quite nice, actually. Waited till the end of the day before it really looked good. Here's a 3-bar chart, and all day today, what we were fighting was this negative bar here, and then basically really just a bullish Hiromi, very close to a bullish engulf. And then we just sort of hovered right in here on that 3rd bar, and then finally at the end of the day it popped up there a little bit. What it did not do was actually break out. Not that that's good, not that that's bad, just something that I'm going to be watching. So bottom line, we need to see this market break out through this 385.84 area, and that would be a sign the bulls well, it'd be a sign that the bulls are thinking a little more bullishness than giving in to some of the bears out there. Remember that we are in some earnings this week, major earnings tonight and tomorrow on a few major charts. Let's see. So something I started to do today, I lighten up on some positions, and I'm going to lighten up even more to where I'm only in maybe 4 positions, maybe 5 positions throughout this week. So I've got a few more to get rid of, but I'll do that. Today, we got rid of one that turned out really nice, this FUBO. Originally, I had planned to just take a third off up into this area here. We bought this last week, and like I say, I planned to take a third off here, and I did. This morning I took a third off up here, and before I went to lunch today, I just thought, you know, man, we're up way too much money, too high a percentage, so I think I'm going to go ahead and close it out. So I closed the rest of it out, and then which right now I'm feeling pretty good about that trade. It pulled back, nice big old doji up here, which could indicate a little bit of consolidation. This thing is up 1, 2, 3, pretty good bars, so that would be timed right for a little consolidation. Anyway, I'll be watching this for a re-entry, but we'll wait till it sets up again on here. So, okay, let's take a look at Momo. These are a few. These are actually, they've been on the watch list, and they sort of they floated to the top of the list based on some of our criteria. And well, let's first take a look at Momo. So Momo, we've got a nice little bottom, rounded bottom that formed in here. And then from this point here, we went from a low to a high to a higher low, higher high, higher low, popped out here really good, and then pulled back. And then it just kind of consolidated. So we've popped up a little bit, and you can see basically what we're doing is we're testing this top up here. So I'm looking for either a buy inside the box or on a breakout. Now, I can't say which it's going to be because I just don't know or can't predict the way tomorrow is going to be or the next several days. But the chart pattern on Momo looks to me like it has some upside potential, so I'll look for that trade. But it's going to have to come in my pocket. I'm not going to chase it. It's going to have to do what I want it to do, which is basically just about everything I look for. Everything I trade is a rally up and a pullback. So here's a rally up. I need a pullback. If it breaks out, I'm going to need a pullback. And then we'll look for those entries in there. Right now I've got to stop about 1530, but that I can't hold with that. It all depends where I buy it. Based on the chart that I'm looking at this moment, and this is all I get to see, this last bar today, anything below the 1530 area would make me think, well, the sellers are taking this chart back. So depending on where it's actually bought, that's where we'll actually put the stop. Marvel MRVL, that has been trending up very nice. We had a terrific little pop to the upside, now a pullback. Nice little fat flag chart pattern here. Pretty good day today, actually. Very nice bullish day here. Let me move that over a little. There we go. Nice little bullish day. When all the dust settles, for me, a nice little pullback inside the box, a little bit of a rest. We could actually draw this up a little bit. There we go. A little bit of a rest here. Based on what I see in the chart at this moment, I'll be using about a 5230 stop. Of course, we'll adjust that stop depending on whether we buy it in the box or we buy it on a slight little breakout here. And as always, we'll be taking profits on the way up into strength. Boom, 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 just like that. We'll take those profits off the table. That's how we've been able to grow the Road to Wealth account. It looks like we're going to hit another major milestone, and I'll have the statement loaded up on the website when the January statement comes out, which should be in about 8 days or so, 8-9 days, usually the 3rd, 4th of each month, and we're getting close to that. XBI, beautiful little chart here, rallied up. Came back for a test. We popped right up here, hit that resistance, and we just went into rest mode until enough buyers came in and just popped it right back up. And then we've just been consolidating here, a little bit of noise, and it looks like the last 2 days, Friday and today, Monday, looks like the buyers are running those sellers out. So we've got a breakout and a test. So far, the test looks like it's holding. What I would like to see is just a nice little inside day tomorrow, or inside day sometime this week. It doesn't always have to be tomorrow. It's not the very next day. In fact, the truth of it is, more times than not, I think if you go back and look at any charts that I have bought, they're rarely on the very next day. Usually it's a few days after that that I'm buying. So right now, 151.50 for a stop, and of course, depending on where we buy it, that's where we'll change the stop there. Whether we buy it inside the box, top of the box, or a breakout of the box. XLU, what a dynamite day on this one. This was actually came out, Doug from over at Right Way Options pointed this out, and he bought it earlier today. And I thought, well, I'll just wait for a little bit of a pullback. Well, I waited and waited and waited, and the doggone thing never really pulled back. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger at near the close. So I'm in this a little high compared to what I would like to have been. But what I did is I bought half a position. I did not buy a full position. And the idea is that by buying a half a position, if it pulls back over the next day or two, gives me a better entry, then I will add to this position. On the other hand, if it doesn't, if it just gets all kinds of bullish and starts taking off there, then at least I have a half position in here. The way I look at it is I'm a guaranteed winner. Unless, I probably shouldn't say guaranteed winner, unless it just comes down here, falls apart, and then gets down through the stop area of $62.75. Another chart I'm looking at is XLV. Here we had a nice little rally and a pullback. Missed the buy on the pullback, wasn't paying attention to it, and that would have been a great day to get in. But here it popped up, and then now it's moving sideways, creating this pop out of the box. In fact, I should just do that right there. Let's just move that all the way over to show the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles in here. A little bit of a morning star in here as well. Nice little T-line run. So boy, if it would just wait on me tomorrow maybe, and get right in there on an inside day or inside the box here, using 117.30 as a stop. Another chart looking at is MDRX. Here we've rallied up, and kind of a little, I guess this is kind of a little pop out of the box as well. You can see the box right there, how we're up, nice tight consolidation, and then here we've popped out. This is also a little flag in here, right there, a little flag broke out. So there's a couple little things going on in this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this like that right there. We have a nice doji followed by a bullish and go followed by a little doji. Maybe we get a little rest tomorrow, maybe a little calmness in the chart. That might allow an entry for us, and then we'll trade on the way up. Earnings not till March, and again, I want to remind everybody, earnings is a dangerous game to play. In my experience, things that I've learned is, honestly, I don't like to trade in earnings. I've been trading an awful long time, and I've just discovered that trading earnings is like you have a 50-50 shot. You know, you might win, you might not win, and it doesn't matter whether the earnings are good or bad. You still might or might not win, and I just think the odds of that just stink. There's no way to have an edge on earnings, in my opinion. So I just don't like earnings. I really don't. So just watch, watch charts what you're buying. MPC. Now it has earnings around the corner. Okay, earnings around the corner. That's a nice little chart. I'm not afraid to buy going into earnings because we've got a few days left, and if this thing, if it works out, if we get a buy or a buy inside the box or a slight breakout buy, and this rallies up, well, that can pay us some pretty good money into strength before earnings, and we might be out of it. Not sure whether I'll buy something like this or not, but it's a good chart, and I wanted to have it on the watch list and have a plan in there just in case. Another chart that's moving up is OVID. Now, this is a pinball setup. This is a chart setup. We actually talked about this a couple of weeks ago in one of our members' workshop, pinball workshop. And this is still looking great. Beautiful little pinball setup. Right now, I'm looking at 330 for a target up there. If we put the 34 EMA up and follow pinball rules, we're getting awfully close to that 34. There you go, right now. Really, the way this is kind of looking and the way it's setting up, again, I'm still going to look for a target up around 3.25 here. We just want to be a little bit careful around that 34. So anyway, looking for a nice little inside day, $2.55 for a stop. Again, depending on where we buy it, if we buy it, that's where we will adjust our stop to. So this may or may not be the stop that we use. GTHX. You can clearly see the resistance up here. That's one of the things that I picked up on this chart, is this resistance and then the rally to break out over that resistance. And here we have a nice little pullback right to the T-line and to the Trendicator here. That bullish candle, not so bullish, bullish candle, kind of a morning star type. Emphasis on the type, not that it's a morning star signal, just type. And right now, with a buy inside the buy box, I will consider using $20.25 as a stop. I'll adjust that a little bit different when it's actually, if it's actually bought, because we also may look at that breakout there. Okay, what is that? 9? That's 9 possible trade ideas out there. Let's watch what tomorrow does. Remember, we need to break out and continue to show that bullishness. We need to see that strength there. So, and all right. Hey, everyone, have a terrific, terrific week ahead of you here. Thank you for watching our videos. I appreciate your support there. Make sure you leave us a thumbs up, write us a note, subscribe to the YouTube, and hey, hope to see you in the trading room. You guys all take care.